Welcome to The Know, I'm Brian. Could we be seeing a Death Stranding release sooner rather than later? Kojima gave an interesting interview with the Japanese newspaper. It was translated by WCCF Tech, and he said that the game is now in the polishing phase. Of course, we're talking about series creator Hideo Kojima, you knew that, but now he's at the point where he's suggesting improvements while playing through the game. All of the gameplay elements have apparently been put together. Interestingly, the report says it's apparently been that way since last summer, so the dude apparently loves him some polish. Kojima also talked in the interview a little bit about his famous split from Konami, saying that he wanted to take a few years off after it happened, but people encouraged him to start on a new game ASAP. Obviously, he's done that. Oh, come on. I gotta find out what this fucking game is about. I'm stoked. Is Valve working on a new Half-Life game after all these years? It could be coming in VR. Oh, P.S. Valve might start making its own VR headset. The website Upload VR reports that images of a prototype headset leaked. You can see a Valve logo on them. The site quoted sources saying that those images are in fact legit prototypes for an upcoming VR headset from Valve. Upload VR went on to say that the set might also come bundled with Knuckles controllers, as well as a Half-Life based VR game that could be a prequel. So that's all we know at this point, but we do know that Gabe is a big VR fan and Valve's definitely ventured into hardware in the past, so this might be legit. Battlefield 1 players celebrated the end of World War I in a pretty cool manner yesterday, aside from a few trolls, but it was pretty cool nonetheless. On the 11th hour of Armistice Day, which marked the end of World War I, players in the game stopped shooting each other. Everyone kind of did to commemorate the event. It was even noted by DICE's Jan David Hassel, who posted a clip of the temporary truce. Well, it was mostly a truce. There was a jerk in a biplane, then somebody backstabbed the person filming it. Other than that, it was a weirdly somber and kind of cool event for a video game. For the third week in a row, Red Dead Redemption 2, still the top-selling game in the UK. GamesIndustry.biz reports that the game is again number one when it comes to physical sales in the UK. Its sales, they are down more than 50% from last week. That is pretty normal at this point. The top four games remain the same. Red Dead 2 is followed by Black Ops 4, then FIFA 19, and Forza Horizon 4. As for Red Dead 2, it accounted for 30% of all physical sales for the week in the UK. New releases, Hitman 2 is not even out, but its de novo has already been cracked. Torrent Freak reports that a cracking group apparently got a pre-order version of the game. They've already cracked the anti-piracy software and released it, which might be a new record considering the game isn't out until tomorrow. Interestingly, the group that cracked it is called Fuck DRM, well, FCK DRM, which is also the same name of GOG's anti-DRM initiative. Now, de novo is known for being widely hated by gamers after many accuse it of affecting performance in games. Oh, and it gets cracked all the time, very quickly, like we saw today. PlayStation gamers in Chicago will soon have to start paying something called a cloud tax for using services like PS Plus and PS Now. Us Gamer noticed that Sony has been sending warning notices to gamers in Chicago that it will start collecting a 9% tax that will be levied on PlayStation Store purchases. The so-called cloud tax is aimed at streaming services like Netflix and Amazon, and while some are suing over it, apparently Sony has just decided to start collecting the tax, which will take effect on Wednesday of this week. It doesn't apply to video game purchases, but it does apply to streaming games or temporary downloads like rentals, hence the fact that it'll hit PS Plus and PS Now users. Pretty good bet that Xbox One and Switch users will start seeing it soon there too. All right, entertainment stuff. The first trailer for Detective Pikachu just dropped, and, well, I'm still kind of processing it. If you haven't been paying attention, it's a live-action movie with CGI Pokemon. Pikachu has fur, he talks, which is going to take some getting used to. As you might know, he's voiced by Ryan Reynolds. Honestly, it's a little weird hearing Deadpool's voice come out of Pikachu's body. Like, I just kept expecting Pikachu to look at the camera and be like, by the way, fuck Digimon. Like, break the fourth wall a little bit. Anyway, he teams up with Justice Smith, who is playing a young detective trying to find his father. Just watch it. See what you think. It's interesting. It might not be terrible. The movie, it's out May 11th of next year. How's that for a plug for me? It might not be terrible. All right, Venom has pretty much run its course here in the US, but it just opened in China, and they fucking loved it. Venom took in $111 million in its first weekend. To put that in perspective, Venom opened to just $80 million here in the US. That means the movie is shortly going to blow past $700 million worldwide, putting it very close to Spider-Man Homecoming's numbers, which was a much better movie than Venom. It looks like Sony's gamble in dropping the R rating in hopes to fold Venom into the Spider-Man universe is paying off big time. Judging by Venom's success, pretty safe bet that we'll see him in a Spider-Man movie sooner rather than later. Speaking of Marvel, obviously we have to do a big shout out to the man Stan Lee, who unfortunately passed away at 95. Goes without saying, the guy was a legend, huge influence to me. I was a big Marvel Comics fan. His editor's notes were the best. We wouldn't have, a lot of the entertainment that you see right now would not have happened without Stan Lee. The guy was a legend. We'll miss him a lot. Big Excelsior to him. Sound off about Stan Lee. All your favorite memories down in the comments below. We'll see you later.